Firefighters in Northern California continue to battle those wildfires and now new wildfires in the Santa Cruz Mountains as well. More residents being forced to flee their homes. Roughly, just about 250,000 acres have gone up in flames. Some 7,000 homes and businesses have already been destroyed in those wildfires that have absolutely ravaged the state's wine country. One lawmaker in the state assessing the damage right now at nearly $3 billion. Joining us now, Congresswoman Mimi Walters of California. She's a member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, and it's a delight to have you with us, Congresswoman. These wildfires, the deadliest in California history. We are seeing some positive efforts, but it's a disaster area. Give us your sense of how extensive the damage and what role the federal government can play for California.
Yeah. It is a tragedy. It's probably been the worst or one of the worst wildfires in the history of the state of California. And of course, we're talking about the Northern California wildfires. I'm in Southern California. We've had fires here as well. But Northern California has been much worse. We've seen over 40 people have died. They still have 88 people missing. As you mentioned, thousands of homes have been destroyed. And in Congress, we were able to pass a $576 million package to send some resources to California to help with the efforts.
And turning to Congress and all that you have before you, this is going to be a real test of the leadership of both the Speaker and the Majority Leader to move forward the President's agenda. And first and foremost, of course, is the budget. What do you expect will happen in the vote?
Well, in the House, we did pass the budget last week, and now we're waiting for the Senate to pass their budget, which they anticipate doing this week. Once we have both houses pass the budget, we will then move forward with the language on tax reform. And tax reform, as you know, is a goal of not only the president, but of Speaker Ryan and Leader McConnell to make sure we get tax reform and relief for middle-class Americans, and we want to get it done by the end of the year.
Right now, we have basically no understanding from Ways and Means as to details about what the tax cuts will look like. Can you frame that for us as you understand it? And do you have a good sense of what's proceeding? Because it's not regular order, and we're not seeing committee hearings, and it's awfully tough, even with a strong chairman and a good man like Kevin Brady running things. We're not getting a lot of information here.
We will get more information. I think the goal was to get a framework that both the president, the House, and the Senate could agree on. And when I talk about a framework, I talk about, so what are our goals? Our goals are to make sure, number one, we give middle-class Americans a break so they have more money in their pockets so they can plan for their future. We want to make the tax code simple so that you don't have to hire somebody and pay a lot of money and that you can actually do taxes yourself. We want to make sure we give relief to businesses. We want to make sure that businesses can invest in America, that they can create more jobs and we can get the economy going. That's the framework and the goal that we have all agreed on. And now, once the budget gets done, we're going to be able to fill in the details.
Well, the details are huge, and amongst the biggest, of course, is repatriation of those corporate profits. Some put the estimate at $3 trillion, some higher. But how in the world do you have any sense this plan will incentivize corporate America to invest in this economy and invest in the creation of American jobs?
We have one of the highest tax rates for corporations in industrialized nation. And the idea is that we give corporations the opportunity by lowering the tax rate so that they can bring money back into our country, and they will want to do it. We need to give them an incentive to do it so that they will invest in America. They will create more jobs.
What is that incentive, though, Congresswoman? That's what I don't quite get.
We're talking right now, the president is talking about a corporate tax rate of 20%, small businesses 25%. He's talking about for individuals, you know, we're going to take our 7 tax structures, take them from 7 down to 3.
I understand the architecture. I'm just curious about the void that seems to exist around. How will corporate America be incentivized to actually invest that money if it is repatriated?
Well, they'll be incentivized by giving them a low rate so that it makes it feasible and makes it them wanting to bring their money back into America so that they can create more jobs.